Hello and welcome to the very first episode of our brand new podcast, Three at the Back. I'm Ben Kelly. To my left here is Joe Halloran.
Hello.
And to my right is Jonathan Metcalfe.
Hello.
We're here to just discuss mainly the Premier League, but football in general, topics, issues, paper talk, previews to big games, whatever you can think of really. We'll be covering a few topics in each episode. I'm a Liverpool fan. John is a Man City fan, and Joe's a Brentford fan / Man United if he had to pick a Premier League tie.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got a lot of things to talk about. We're going to start, gentlemen, with some paper talk, which is today's up-to-date news that is circling the media and the newspapers, the back pages. The first thing we've got is PSG are thought to be weighing up a £200 million deal to sign Neymar next summer.
Jesus, I didn't know have you heard that one.
I saw it earlier.
Really?
It's on the back of the Star today.
I think it was in the Sun as well.
I think it's a ridiculous amount of money.
I don't think he'd go.
Why would he go?
No.
He's having the time of his life. He's in the best strike force, probably one of the best strike force to ever grace football.
Mm-hmm.
Why would he leave that?
For me, it sums PSG up in a headline.
PSG up, doesn't it?
It really does.
They are struggling this season, aren't they? They're not.
Are they? They're not top.
They are. They're not.
Are they fourth?
I don't know where they are, but they're definitely definitely having a bad time.
Balotelli and Nice.
Nice
Are
are top.
they actually top?
Nice are top.
Well, Balotelli's firing them in, isn't he? He's loving it.
Balotelli's got. The last time I saw it was 6 in 5 games, but I think there's been another game since.
Fair play. What a signing he has been.
Yeah.
For free. No money. Liverpool.
Absolutely no money.
Klopp is crying.
Klopp sat there going, "Oh God, I've got such a good strike force, but wouldn't you want Balotelli as well?" Obviously.
Yeah, I don't think he'd fit into your system somehow.
No, somehow. Well, he's proven that in the last 2.5 years. But yeah, so Neymar to PSG for £200 million.
That rumour's been knocking about for the last couple of transfer windows.
I've not heard 200 million.
I've never heard that.
No, that's a new sum, but it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to. You can't pry him away from Barcelona, no matter how much money. And I don't think really they'd be prepared to spend that much money.
Depends on
Neymar,
doesn't it?
It is, but even
Neymar couldn't win the Champions League, not on his own.
Well, if you're going to spend 200 million, go for Messi. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or even Suarez. Would you have Suarez or Neymar?
Suarez,
or anything? You'd have Suarez, wouldn't you? So if you're going to spend 200 million, go for Suarez.
Yeah.
You know, he's the Ibra replacement, isn't he? You know, if they're looking to directly replace Ibrahimovic, then you need another. Number 9.
What's their I don't even know their team now.
Cavani, isn't it?
Cavani. Still like Cavani and
Lavezzi.
I still feel he's bang average.
In
Cavani.
midfield, they've got Rabiot and Matuidi.
They've got a good team.
But in the French league,
not happening.
Yeah, like I'm sure Southampton could get top 4 in French league if they tried.
Yeah. Even Liverpool could. Some would argue. The next piece of news that we've got is Manchester City related, and it's the thought that last week a 13-year-old kid at Celtic made his first appearance for the under-23s.
Ousmane
His
Dembele.
name is Karamoko Dembele. He's 13 years old, and Manchester City want to take him off Celtic and put him into their youth.
Of course they do.
Of course they do, yeah.
And they're going to pay all the money in the world to get him.
200 million.
I can't argue with that. I don't know. He's played once for the under-23s. I don't know how to comment on that.
I smell Ødegaard. I feel
it's an Ødegaard sort of situation.
Yeah, it is. PA.
And it's going to absolutely... For me, it would absolutely...
Production assistant.
Yeah, I said PA. Public announcement.
Absolutely ruin him. I don't know how he did in the game, but I know he did play.
Yeah, I've not actually seen him do anything except from this 13-year-old's playing football, this 13-year-old's starting for this, and then I've seen like a best bits, and it wasn't even that good. He just kind of ran for a bit, then passed.
Just did what you expected.
But to get into that team,
he must be pretty good.
He's absolutely talented.
What's 13 like? Year 9.
13. 16 this year, 11, 15 this year, 10.
So
year 8.
Year 8. Bloody hell. Yeah. Fair play to him.
That's
you can't.
Incredible. There was a 14-year-old who came on for Galatasaray's first team
Yeah.
a couple of days ago.
Oh, I
wasn't
saw that. Yeah.
But it's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's Ødegaard all over again. There was a.
You hope it's not.
How much are they willing to pay for him?
It's not so much of a transfer deal at the moment because of his age.
Oh, you can get on a free contract.
You've got to approach him and take him into your youth system and do that. So, I mean, I know Man City, they put a lot of money into the youth system, but I don't know really. Would that be the best move for him? Really?
I can't comment. I've only seen literally pictures of him.
I feel like Celtic is a very good team to beat at a young age because it gives you the winning mentality.
Yeah.
Like you see Patrick Roberts, a Man City player who's gone on loan to Celtic, I think, for 2 years, and that's like the perfect
about
loan
a year
deal.
and a half, year and a half,
That's a perfect loan deal because you've got the winning mentality drilled into them straight away because they win every game. They'll go to Man City and they'll understand winning. They'll understand winning trophies.
Playing well as well.
And then
He's
when
really well,
it's
Patrick Roberts.
23 and he's playing for Man City, hopefully, if he doesn't Scott Sinclair it. You know,
well, yeah, and Rodgers, you know, with Brendan Rodgers at Celtic, he's going to take Celtic somewhere. Obviously, they're very successful domestically, and now what they've got to focus on is the European football. Now they got whacked at Barcelona, but they've managed the most Brendan Rodgers thing ever coming out. You know, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Okay, all right.
Didn't get waxed by us though.
You know, but yeah, they went and got a draw away at home to City. So you know, they have a good manager, and eventually.
Sorry, Karen.
And eventually, you know, who knows? You know, in 5 years, does any manager last in a job 5 years? Probably not.
How long was Neil Lennon there though? He was there for a fair few years.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
but it's a different era of football.
Different
Yeah,
era.
fair
You
point.
know, look at.
Did he get sacked? No, he just left, didn't he? He left to go to
He left to
Bolton.
go to
And then went to Bolton.
What a decision!
Lord knows what he
What
was
a decision!
Champions League to League One. Oh yeah.
That's the Neil Lennon way.
Right.
So he's looking like a young, you know, talented prospect. If he's getting into that, like you say, you've only seen basic clips.
I
But
think
it's ridiculously early
transfer
days, isn't
talk
it?
is
Transfer
ridiculous.
talk.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what's floating around this morning. Man City want him to develop him and take.
The thing
him.
is, I don't think it'll just be Manchester City. I think that's just
Well, Real Madrid, like
Yeah.
who.
Real Madrid,
Real Madrid.
like trickling and.
But
I think all
for
the top
me,
clubs.
the thing with the top clubs is, as a 13-year-old, it's very easy to get drawn into the top clubs. But long term, you know, no disrespect to Celtic, but where is he more likely to get opportunities like playing for the under-23 side at Celtic?
At Celtic, yeah.
Exactly.
So if I was a 13-year-old and I was playing for a relatively big club anyway, who, you know, as in Celtic, you know, he's probably not getting paid at this point. You'd assume not.
50 quid a week, I think they get something like that in the youth team. It's not a lot.
So for me, I'd be looking to stay with Celtic because,
Oh yeah.
you know, it's a fantastic opportunity to have those opportunities to play at such a high level for his age. So it's very early days, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
The next piece of news, which is something I covered yesterday. I'm a journalist, by the way, for website sillyseason.com. Is the disgusting treatment of Bastian Schweinsteiger at Manchester United. Have you heard the current? Have you heard the update on the situation?
Give me an update,
I have
then.
not. I have
Feed
not.
me an
The most
update.
recent update is that they are pushing him out in January, and by do this, they have he was training with the under-23 side, but he is now been taken away from that. Even that privilege has been taken away. He's been given his own personal trainer to keep him fit, essentially, until January, and he never sees his teammates anymore at Carrington.
What has that man done? Like
I know.
what does he deserve to be treated?
Jose Mourinho has come along and something, I don't know what's happened, but he's just completely gone off him. And how can you do that as a club to an absolute German legend? He's gone to Bayern Munich, he's won all these trophies, he's won the Champions League, he's won the World Cup with Germany.
I understand if he's not a part of Mourinho's plans, that's fair enough, but treatment like that is poor. If it's a player you don't want in your system, you at least
you keep him
keep him
training.
playing.
Send him on
Keep
loan.
him playing.
Like look at Man City's
Yeah.
rejects. They sent all the rejects on loan so they can consistently still get football.
Yeah.
But no, it's
Think
fine.
about how valuable he is in the dressing room. You know, in terms of
Knowledge, just like stick him
young
on.
player, you've got a young player like Paul Pogba, who yes is the world's most expensive transfer, but he is so underdeveloped, you'd have to say. He's got the potential to be a fantastic player. If you have an experienced world-class professional in training and in the dressing room helping Paul Pogba, like Bastian Schweinsteiger, you are going to get so much more out of Paul Pogba. And if you play him with Bastian Schweinsteiger on the pitch, and Schweinsteiger's talking throughout the whole thing, and he's staying deep, and Pogba's allowing to go forward, you're going to get so much more out of Paul Pogba. Yeah. But obviously Mourinho sees something different. But for me, it just makes no sense. Why would you force him out?
No, I don't. It was his dream to come to United as well. That's what I feel sorry for. He really wanted to come to United, and even when they told him to go in the summer, he was like, "No, I want to stay. I want to fight for my place or whatever." And now they've just gone, "Nah, you are not even going to fight for your place."
It's like what you said, man. I think he would be so effective
Mentor,
if he played on the pitch rather than just being thrown out. I think he's a fantastic, experienced.
Would you take him at City? Midfielder. Would you take him at Liverpool?
I'd take him at Liverpool. Yeah.
I don't think I'd take him at City because I don't think there's enough space for him.
Well, you're a hypocrite then, aren't you?
Thank you. No, but I mean at Manchester United with their system.
No, I'd take him at Liverpool. I'm sorry, Henderson. You're playing well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of getting to an age now where he can't play certainly can't play 2 games a week for European and domestic. But he's gotten to the stage where Steven Gerrard was at Liverpool, where you can play him in a deeper role and he play a game a week and he can be so effective. He's got the passing on him, he's got the goal scoring opportunities, and he's got the leadership. He could walk into Liverpool right now and he could take the captain's armband.
Well, Klopp must have some sort of
association
with him.
Yeah, he's going to the MLS.
Is he?
Yeah. So, but they're just United are taking him. They training him privately, and they're essentially keeping him fit to shipping out to America in January. And it's
very harsh.
It is.
It's really sad. So you think of players like even younger than Pogba. If you look at Marcus Rashford, is somebody and I understand that Marcus Rashford is an central midfielder, but as a 19-year-old kid, or however old he is, and younger than that, 16,
18.
He's 18, isn't he? Yeah.
18-year-old kid, so he's our age.
Mm-hmm.
He, like us, has grown up with Bastian Schweinsteiger at the centre of European football. And if you're in the changing room before and after games with Bastian Schweinsteiger, in terms of confidence, in terms of being able to ask him questions, it's so valuable. And
well, you look, he has so much Champions League experience, and United are struggling in Europe at the moment. You think someone like that with that much experience could lead them to victory, but no, they get dodgy losses and dodgy draws. And
it's sad to see, but at the same time, it's United, so if they don't want to use him to their advantage, absolutely no problem with me. Especially
he can't help himself. I'm trying to.
No, come on. Look, we have our teams.
Little digs.
I'm sure Joe will take a few pops at Chelsea as a Brentford fan.
It's less direct of a
I'll just
competition though.
Man City, to be honest, they're the ones I hear the most.
Cheers.
So the first main topic today, John, we're going to come to you first because it's also Manchester United related.
Wonderful.
Wayne Rooney.
Oh, okay.
What do we think of him in the England setup at the moment? Is it right to drop him? He might be past his best, but is it right to boo him like a small section of the England fans did at Wembley on Saturday? Is it the end of his England career? And should he go looking now for new challenges at a club level?
Start with John.
Go. You can take each question.
I think not playing him is correct, because despite how good of a player he is, I don't think you can crowbar him into a system and hope that it works. Because as United have found out recently, just trying to get your best 11 on the pitch does not work. And when Rooney plays for England, no one knows where to play him, and it creates confusion. And Hodgson, when he was managing before the Euros and during the Euros, he didn't know what to do with him. I think he gives you too much of a selection problem. And he's a good player. He's struggling at the moment.
He gives you a problem
for morale
because he's captain.
see.
And you have to play him as a captain.
I wouldn't play him, but I'd still bring him.
You've got to move on at some point though in terms of
tomorrow
captains.
night. He's only dropped into the bench tomorrow night.
I'd never drop him from the team, no matter how out of form he is.
No.
Because he's so vital. And he's again the Schweinsteiger experience.
In terms of should he be booed?
No.
Quite frankly, pardon my French, but should he fuck? It's disgraceful.
It's
ridiculous.
horrible.
But it's like the same at Manchester United. The treatment he's getting. And
that I can understand because he gets booed at Anfield because he's a Man United player. All Man United players
I
booed at
mean
Anfield.
Manchester United fans.
Oh really?
How they're referring to him at the moment. You know, you go on Twitter, you see during matches he's playing badly. Some of the things they're saying about him, absolute club legend. It's bang out of order.
It is.
It's disgraceful. I mean, if he's not right for your team, fair enough. And I think he should move on in terms of club level, but he should not be getting the dismissal he's getting by Manchester United fans, who a couple of months ago did a testimonial match for him at their stadium.
Yeah, I know.
Fickle.
Where would you play
him,
him,
in my mouth.
Joe? What? Where would you play him if you were going to play him?
If I had to.
Yeah. Would you?
See, it's easy to just say centre mid, but that doesn't work.
Okay, for England.
Next game.
Yeah. If you were going to start him, obviously Gareth Southgate isn't, but if you were going to start him, where would you play him?
I might just stick him up front.
Up front.
And it's obviously no one's played him up front for years. But
England don't really have.
But that's the issue. You really struggle then to think of a place to play him
because you can't play him centre mid because he doesn't work there. At Cam, I just still think he doesn't work. He hasn't played striker in years, and that's obviously where he's best. That's where he scored his most England goals or whatever. Yeah. And you've got Sturridge, who I think they had a decent game, didn't he, against Malta?
Yeah, but it's Malta. You know, Sturridge seems, he's only there when he wants to be. He's by no stretch of the imagination the number one established England striker. When you think of an England team, you don't go, well, we can't drop Sturridge. So,
true.
So if I was going to play him, I would play him up front. If I was going to play him tomorrow night against Slovenia, we're playing.
We always seem to have Slovenia and
Slovakia
in our groups. Every year. Is San Marino in our group? Because they are in our group every year.
I think, we've got Scotland, Malta.
Scotland.
We've got Lithuania, haven't we?
Lithuania.
I've not even looked at.
And then
take every easy game as it comes. Easy.
Scotland drew to Lithuania in the weekend, didn't they?
Yeah.
I'd like you said, I'd probably say play Rooney up front. If he doesn't play well, stick on Rashford at half time or 60th minute or something like that.
Yeah. It is difficult because he kind of brings a similar problem to at the start of the season what Jordan Henderson was bringing to Liverpool, where we were at the point as fans where we were kind of like, I wish he'd drop Henderson. Yeah. But he's your captain. He's your club captain. Exactly. You cannot drop your club captain. At a national level, it's kind of different because you've got such a big pool of players you can mess about with the team, especially with international friendlies and qualifiers.
Is the vice captain Gary Cahill for England?
I think so.
Not sure.
Apparently it's Jordan Henderson because he's captaining the team tonight.
Oh, okay, maybe it's Jordan Henderson then. Maybe he's changed it.
If he was going to play Gary Cahill, you'd assume he's captain. But no, Jordan Henderson's going to be the captain for England tonight.
That's good.
At the time of recording, just clocked on.
Yeah.
So it is difficult because I do think, if you're going to play Rooney in his best position, you're going to have to sacrifice some talented players playing up front. But in midfield, where England aren't lacking by any means, that's probably where it's easiest to play him.
At the World Cup, not the World Cup, Euros.
Yep.
There was a game, I can't particularly remember the game, but Rooney was the only.
Was it the Russia game?
I feel it might be not
the first game.
He was the only confident player on the pitch. Everyone else looked shaky on the ball. They were like, I don't know what to do. But every time Rooney got the ball, he was very cultured. He didn't particularly do anything outstanding, but just the presence on the pitch and as a captain, he was very good. But obviously, then we've gone and lost to Iceland, so it doesn't particularly matter.
I think it was the Russia game. He played in the Russia game.
I think he played well in all the group games.
Very, very well. And then I think he was brought off, and everybody was crying because he was brought off.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And then obviously we drew the game. So
play Rooney.
Yeah, that's it.
Moral of the story.
More Rooney equals more wins.
No, it doesn't.
Not for United.
We've been all around the towns and houses here, and we've just decided Rooney's the best player. He's the
Ever,
man we need.
ever.
He's the man we
200
need.
million for Rooney.
Neymar, who's he?
Neymar? Who is Karamoko Dembele? I can't even pronounce his name. Rooney's a better player.
He probably is.
I think that's fair, yeah.
He is 13.
Our next story is slightly related to transfer talk, but I thought we could go into a bit more detail with this one. Arsenal, it was revealed yesterday that Arsenal in the summer did indeed make contact to sign Riyad Mahrez from Leicester.
I heard this.
Fee wasn't mentioned, but it was Mahrez that's come out and said it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Fee wasn't mentioned, but Mahrez sort of decided that he wasn't going to push through a move because Claudio Ranieri said that they wanted to keep him. They wanted to help with his career, develop him further, and go on to do a Champions League run this season. I think at the time he made the right decision, but we're now 7 games in. We're now 7 games in. Looking back, do we think that he maybe should have gone? Considering where Leicester are, considering how he's playing, he's scored 1 goal this season, and considering where Arsenal are, do we think they would have been better off with him? Would Mahrez been better off with Arsenal? And similar for Leicester, really, would Leicester have been better off cashing in when they could have got probably 40 million for him?
Yeah.
I think
Arsenal. Arsenal are just fine without him. To be honest, I think.
I think they are.
Yeah, they seem to be. But
I mean, a player like Mahrez for a team like Arsenal can bring you lots of goodies. But no, I don't think he has. I don't think he has. I think he's...
I think Mahrez without Kante is nothing.
Yeah, but I think Mahrez was right to stay at Leicester and finish this journey. Hate using the word, but this journey that they've started from winning the league last year. You've got to stay 1 more year and play in the Champions League with Leicester.
It's like Vardy, isn't it?
The first year there in the Champions League, this wonderful story. I know you're talking about your development as a player. It probably would have been better to go to Arsenal. But in terms of just experiencing this, because it's nothing anyone has ever seen before, you've got to stay and finish the story. And if he leaves at the end of the year, they're out the Champions League, which they probably will be at some point.
They're going to win it. They're not going to win it.
They're struggling in the Premier League, and I think they're going to carry on struggling. I think they'll stay in the Premier League, definitely, but I think at the end of the season he might decide he wants to leave, and Arsenal might be the destination for him. But I think this season, I think he was right to stay at Leicester and just finish what they started. And I think that's also partially why Vardy wanted to stay as well.
If I was in his position, I'd stay. I wouldn't go to Arsenal because I just feel
it is very tempting though.
It is.
It's tempting. And look at Kante. Kante's gone. He's done all right for Chelsea, but really he went for the money.
Oh yeah.
So
Chelsea haven't been superb.
I'm sure Kante wasn't that passionate with the club because he was only there for a season, wasn't he? Wasn't he bought and then
he was bought for a second division French club, I think, second or third,
and then 4.2 million or something like that around those regions,
and straight back out because he so wanted.
Vardy has been there for 3 years.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah,
he loves the club.
Has been there for a while as well.
Exactly. So they love the club where Kante didn't,
and that is why they want to stay there and finish what they started. Kante, I don't think he really cared. I think.
Was Kante the most important out of the 3 of them?
It's between Vardy and Kante for me. Mahrez is good, but I'd feel like he's less influential on the side. I think it's all
directly
3 of
influential.
them. I think if one of them wasn't there, they wouldn't have won the league.
I think Kante was the most important because when you're playing bigger clubs, a majority of which they got results from, you need a man like him in the middle, winning tackles, getting the ball back for you, and then you can launch a counter-attack with the pace of Vardy and Mahrez.
Exactly. Vardy would have had no balls to him, would have scored no goals. His
interceptions and his tackles just started attacks plenty, and that's how crucial he was.
Drinkwater was a real threat, really, and I think what you don't see with him is how much he does. I think he was very similar to him and Drinkwater in midfield. Drinkwater was responsible for getting the ball forward, I think, but the hard work that Kante does in midfield is something that, unless it's pointed out to you or unless you watch him specifically for 90 minutes, you just don't
see.
realise, you just don't see how many tackles he makes, how many passes he makes. He just does the simple things
It's
well.
until you see the
Links it all
stats,
up,
the actual stats. Black and white.
So that's what Leicester have been missing really this season, that ability to win the ball back in midfield. They've signed a similar guy, I think, who's a similar knockoff brand sort of version of Kante.
Aldi version.
But that's what they've missed. So that's really what Leicester have missed this season. Not in the Champions League, don't get me wrong. Obviously, they've had a blinding start to the Champions League.
Going to win it.
They'll win it.
They've got quite an easy group.
They've got quite an easy group. Bruges,
Did well to get.
Bruges, Copenhagen, and
Porto.
play last Porto.
Did well to get a result against Porto.
Did they
to be
draw
fair.
against Porto?
Yeah. Did they win? No, they won.
They won.
They won. Yeah, they won.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They did so well.
Yeah.
Fair play. If you're going to focus on one thing, if I was the Leicester manager, I'd focus on Champions League.
Yeah.
You're not going to win the Premier League again, are you?
Every day of the week, yeah.
Every day of the week.
Every day
a week, geezer.
Okay, our final.
Sorry, just tickle me. Tickle me.
So we happy moving on?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So our final sort of thing that we'll do every week. We'll do the paper talk and this every week. We're going to do the build up for each of our games. So the fixtures this week are for Joe. Brentford are away at Newcastle. For John, City are at home to Everton, and Liverpool are at home to Man United. What we'll do is every week we'll discuss all three, but the biggest game out of the three, granted, Brentford isn't always going to be the biggest game. The biggest game out of the three we'll discuss in a little bit more detail.
Against high-flying Newcastle.
Big
game.
Exactly.
Big game.
We're going to ask you the questions that will provoke some thought, so don't you worry, you'll get some attention. So we'll start off with Newcastle versus Brentford. If Brentford are serious about a playoff place, should this be a game that they are drawing at least?
Well, yes.
Yes.
The easy answer is yes.
Yeah.
But
Newcastle are high flying.
Exactly. When we got into the playoffs last season, we were sort of third for a while, and then kind of dropped off, and then I think we finished fourth in the end. The last day, I think we were sixth on the last day, and everyone else lost, and we won, so we went up to fourth. This is obviously going to be a different story now. I think it's going to be an 8th, 9th, 7th, 6th battle to try to get that last playoff space.
So
if we get a draw against Newcastle, I'll be absolutely chuffed.
Yeah.
Because they are a bit fickle. They lost against Wolves 2-0, but then beat QPR
however many
6-0, 5. I don't bloody know. A lot. So I'm pretty. I think we're probably going to lose away at Newcastle. But if a draw, I'll be absolutely buzzing. And if we can get results against the big teams in the Championship, then I will be a bit confident about getting a playoff place this year.
Brentford currently sits 7th on 18 points. They are 4 points behind Newcastle.
Or Newcastle third?
Third behind Huddersfield and Norwich in that order.
Huddersfield are flying.
Yeah, Huddersfield are 25. Huddersfield are 25, Norwich are 23, and Newcastle 22. Interestingly enough, Newcastle have lost the same amount of games as Brentford, but you have 2 more draws.
Madness.
Your goal difference is you're 3 behind them. So you get a win. In Dreamland, you get a win and you go up to 21. You're only a point behind them. Suddenly, it's looking good.
Yeah.
You've got the best striker in the Championship.
Exactly.
In the country.
We've got the best striker in the Championship. One of the best English strikers around at the moment. There's not much competition there.
No, it's not.
But when we play well, we play well. 5-0 against Preston. When we don't play well, we bottle it. Our defence is a bit dodgy, and then we end up conceding easy goals. Newcastle are very dodgy this season. Obviously, they've played well, but they have lost some embarrassing games against Wolves. As I know, we lost against Wolves, but that's beside the point. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Norwich are at home to Rotherham, which you'd expect them to win, really.
Yeah, we lost against Norwich.
Huddersfield at 12 o'clock on Sunday at home to Sheffield Wednesday.
Sheffield Wednesday playing well. I feel like then, or maybe I'm just making that up. Maybe that was last season.
Sheffield Wednesday are 9th and only a point behind you.
Nope.
So
I think if we want to stay in this 7th position, we're going to have to at least get a point, let's be honest.
Yeah, at the beginning of the season, you'd have probably taken 7th, even though it's only a point off the playoffs, right? So,
top half is where I think we're probably going to finish. Yeah, if we finish
playoffs,
playoffs,
consistently top half for the next few years. Do you feel? Do you feel like promotion's on its way, or?
I think we've got. There's a lot of the team mentality. There's a lot of togetherness in the team. When I look at other sides in the Championship, I feel like it's just a bunch of players playing with each other. But with Brentford, it seems like, because it's a small club, it feels like a bit of a family. Like Leicester, where they were like a family. It feels like a family. When they play, they celebrate together. I'm sure obviously when they celebrate together, but I just feel it. And a lot of the players are majority English and British, so that might help. So. I think promotion's on the way. We just need a bit more money. We spent 1.5 million on a centre back last season, so there is money there. If we end up getting some decent high calibre Premier League players, then we can try and force for. But this season's different because we've got Newcastle who came down, who arguably shouldn't have gone down, and they've got money, Sports Direct money, and
a decent manager,
a decent manager, and a decent team. Norwich again, they've got quite a lot. Obviously, they're a Championship side, let's be honest. Yeah. But it's a bit tougher this year because we've got rich clubs that have come down for I'm sure next year will probably be the same when Sunderland go down and they've got a load of money. But Aston Villa,
are Sunderland going to go down though?
Yeah, they're looking like it.
Anyway, we'll say this every season.
They're not going in the right way. Yep,
anyway,
fair enough.
Anyway, should we kick on to a different game?
Kicking off. So the next game is Man City, Everton. How do you feel about this one, John?
Well, we're going to learn a lot about our team.
Is De Bruyne still injured?
He's out for another couple of weeks, isn't he?
But I've heard that he could be back against Everton. I don't think he will be, but
I wouldn't risk it.
They're saying he'll probably be back for Barcelona.
Not with the derby, the Barcelona game
next week,
and then the derby.
I've heard he's going to be probably back for Barcelona, so his recovery's been fantastic. But we're going to learn a lot about this Manchester City team. Recently, they've not had it all their own way for the first time pretty much this season.
Yep.
Draw against Celtic, it was a decent result, not what we were expecting though. And then the loss to Tottenham was, in the first half especially, quite eye-opening. But now we need to see how they'll respond. The Etihad has been an absolute fortress for this season. I mean, there's been some stellar performances there. And yeah, Everton, bit of a topsy-turvy side at the moment.
It depends when Lukaku
started
plays,
well.
Doesn't it, really?
Depends where Lukaku plays. It depends whether Ross Barkley turns up.
It depends whether the team turns up for Everton.
Well,
it's not happened multiple occasions this season.
Everton sit 5th, 4 points behind.
5th?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Surprising. I didn't think they were doing that well.
Oh, no, they had a
loss
really
to
good
Bournemouth was quite harrowing. They started brilliantly.
Yeah, I remember that because everyone was buzzing about Koeman.
Koeman.
They were sitting like second, weren't they once?
Oh yeah.
But that's all early days. The league always sorts itself out. And I'm sure Everton won't do quite as badly as last season, but I'm sure they're looking at 7th or 8th.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's currently 4 points behind you.
Yep.
So it'd be nice if they went and got a win because that does favours for everybody else.
It'd be lovely.
Tottenham, it's obviously still unbeaten, just a point behind you. Chelsea host Leicester at 12:30 Saturday lunchtime. Chelsea sits 7th, so they're 5 points behind you. So if you get a win, it's for City. It's certainly more encouraging. It's certainly more going forward.
Yeah.
It's another encouraging win over a decent side. City in the first 6 games played 5 of the bottom 7.
Yeah.
So now it's all about you're always going to have a tough run at some point in the season, and Everton is, while at home, still a very tough game.
Everton, Barcelona, Southampton this week.
Everton, Barcelona, Southampton, Man United.
Man United, yeah.
So
it's a tough week.
If you lose, teams might think, oh, this team can't play without De Bruyne. And then my tactic, if I was a manager, would tell my centre-backs to go in the back of De Bruyne in the next game he plays.
Step on his ankle.
Snap his ankle, take him out for the next 2 years.
It's the easy way out. Just destroy his career.
Exactly. That's what I'd do if I was Jose.
Think they're already...
Phil Jones, get on it.
I think they're already asking those questions though, about Kevin De Bruyne and how important he is. I think they're already asking those questions.
Oh, of course. Yeah, the one game he doesn't play and you get beat by... But good Tottenham side. But
a very good Tottenham side, but...
Embarrassing for...
That first half was quite abysmal defensively, but we'll see.
So, you fancy yourselves?
Yeah, I think
deep down.
Do. I think I do.
Score prediction, what did you say?
Oh, 2-1.
2-1 to
City.
City.
I do.
I'm,
I think
going to say 3-1 to City.
I think at the Etihad we've been superb this season. I think
2-0 or 3-0.
2-3. You
2-3.
think fancy him to keep a clean sheet?
Yeah. I don't. As long as Lukaku doesn't step up, they've got no other goal scoring threat, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. So the final bit of the podcast, the final bit of this segment is the bigger game of the weekend, which is
Monday.
Red Monday. Monday night.
Sky
Liverpool
Sports.
Man United. I've been looking forward to this ever since the Swansea game, because the Swansea game was such a massive win to come back from behind away at a lower league club, which is something Liverpool have struggled to do for years.
Lower league.
Lower league.
Conference.
Lower
In the league.
Lower
in
in
the
the
league.
league club.
Swansea playing in League One.
When did this happen?
I think under the lights at Anfield, I'm just so excited. I've got to say, I'm
He is, isn't he?
Like a kid at Christmas,
Dripping out of his ears.
but.
You get beat
Is it-
2-0,
is
you
it-
won't be
is
such
it
excited.
one of them where Jose Mourinho comes to Anfield again, parks the bus, and gets a win.
I'm not talking to him on
It's-
Tuesday if,
It's
if
such a
they don't win.
possibility.
I'm not
You
talking
don't.
to him.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
definitely talking to him.
He's going to milk it.
so I've sort of had my say already. Joe.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'd probably say Liverpool win. It's
I'd say Liverpool win.
they're playing better football. They look more confident. The players, Man United haven't found their
United
11
need an
yet.
identity yet. They need an identity yet. Despite that win against Leicester.
Still don't know their
Still
best
struggling.
11.
No, they don't. No.
Still don't know what to do with Paul Pogba because he disappears in games.
They need to find out
I've been
quick.
saying it
because
play him a centre attacking mid instead
should.
of Mata.
Oh yeah, hell
They
yeah.
should. Well, no, well, to be fair, Mata. He's still
But
not
he's-
as good as Pogba.
Pogba would be so effective in a
Can
full
Mata not
position.
play centre mid? No, he can't.
Yeah.
No, he can play on the wing.
But
Well,
who
then
would
you've got to drop Martial.
Or Mkhitaryan? Is Mkhitaryan playing?
Mkhitaryan isn't playing.
Is it not-
Mkhitaryan
he
picked
plays
up
on
an
the
injury.
right. Oh, Lingard.
Lingard, and then you've got Rashford.
Rashford or Martial, they play on the
Martial.
left. But I think the
Got
other
a few
they must
selection
be
issues,
dropping
and that's
Martial.
why they're struggling to find their best 11, and it's a problem.
It's a massive game.
It's a big game.
It's the best. It's the two best Liverpool and Man United teams that have come against each other. On paper.
Yeah.
You know, for a good few years.
Yeah,
If
to
you compare it
managers
to
as
last
well.
season.
Yeah.
The game at Anfield last season where we were beaten 1-0. Everybody expected a 0-0 draw. They were just two bang average sides who United were again lucky to come away with a win because both teams were just poor.
Yeah.
And they got a lucky goal from a corner.
It might be an exciting game for once.
I think it will be
It
an
could,
exciting
yeah,
game.
it could be open.
I think it could be a case of either Liverpool blowing United away if Mourinho isn't careful in the first half an hour, or it could be it could be a cagey game in terms of United going ahead and then sitting back and Liverpool trying to break them down for an hour.
I think with Jurgen Klopp, I don't think he allows cagey
No.
affairs. I really don't think he does. Against
then-
Chelsea, it was very apparent.
United must know that Liverpool are going to come out all guns blazing.
Oh yeah.
So, look, it's a big one. Injury news in terms of Manchester United. They've still got Mkhitaryan out. They've asked him to sit out of international duty for Armenia in sort of preparation for this game. So I do believe that Mkhitaryan is going to be available and fit.
Klopp knows that player.
Klopp knows that player. Yeah, that's correct. But he's still not really found his feet at United. I doubt he'll start.
No.
In terms of Liverpool, Adam Lallana is. I think he's going to miss the game, unfortunately.
What about Klein? Is he back?
Klein's back.
Nice.
I believe. I don't hold me to that, but I believe Klein's back. The new injury problem is that Gigi Wijnaldum picked up a hamstring injury last night for
did he?
Holland.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. So
Who's his replacement?
you'd have to say probably Emre Can. It depends really what he was going to do in the first place with Lallana injured, but in the midfield three that we've been playing, we're playing Henderson deeper, Can and Henderson further forward. So in that case,
You said Henderson deeper,
Henderson deeper.
and then you said Chan and Henderson forward.
Oh no,
Wijnaldum.
Contradictory.
Wijnaldum and Lallana further forward. Chan isn't even playing it. So what you
I was
do?
really confused then. I was like, two
Lost his
Hendersons,
way.
doppelganger.
Well, if you could have two Hendersons on,
He is everywhere. He's everywhere.
everywhere.
He's everywhere. He can play.
So
both.
what he'll do is he'll play Henderson further forward and play Chan deeper. Now the problem now is Wijnaldum. So what he'll do now is he'll play Coutinho with Henderson in midfield. He'll play Firmino on the left and he'll play Sturridge up front for me. So my predictive lineup is Karius, Klein, Lovren, Matip, Milner, Emre Can, Henderson, Coutinho, Firmino, Sturridge, Mane, and I think the pace in that side is going to trouble Darmian.
Yeah,
it's going to trouble Daily Blind.
That's what United have issues with for me. The pace.
The defence has not been the same since Ferdinand Vidic retired.
Oh, no.
Well, not retired.
The,
Vidic still
the
playing.
only solid player who did have a dodgy game at Watford is Eric Bailey, and I think he's a top player.
Yeah. He has been playing very well despite the rest of his teammates being average.
Past few games, but he found his feet at the start of the season. He's lost it a bit. He needs to pick it up again, and nobody.
When all his other teammates aren't playing well, it must be.
I think that's United's issue, and it has been for the past few years. They're such a slow and lethargic team. They really struggle when they come up against pace because they can't match it. They can't match tempo. They can't match pace, and I think Liverpool will win this one. I'm hoping they do. I shouldn't be technically, but I hope they do.
Score predictions.
I'd say probably take 2-1 Liverpool. I think you said the same, didn't you?
I don't think we're going to keep a clean sheet.
I think your team's to attack.
You fancy
hard to predict
Ibra getting a goal or something.
Ibra popping up, or even
Rashford.
Pogba.
I think it'll be similar to the derby. I think it'll be 2-1.
2-1. Do you think?
2-1 again.
Dominant performance from Liverpool first half, a bit more.
Possibly, and a little bit of a
resurgence.
Open door.
I think.
Open
like the
by
Chelsea
Ibra.
game.
I was about to say
Chelsea.
I was about to say exactly Chelsea.
Like
game.
both of those two games, you come out all guns blazing, get 2 goals, looks like it's going to be a hammering, and then maybe the door just creaks open,
and then you're shitting yourself for the last
home,
20 minutes.
I fancy that at home. If you took, away is different because then in front of your own fans you've got to come out and attack. But at home, under the lights at Anfield, by the way, which a night game's completely different scenario.
Don't shut up about these lights, do you? These lights. What do these lights do, Ben?
The lights are incredible.
Magical lights.
I've been under the lights.
They inspire. He's had a vision under these lights.
All right, we'll leave it there because, frankly, I'm going to miss a bus otherwise. It's been fantastic discussing these things with you for the first time.
Likewise.
Thank you.
We'll be back next week, similar time. We'll discuss next week's fixtures and we'll talk about the Capital One Cup because that's a big week coming up. I've been Ben Kelly, Joe Halloran, Jonathan Metcalfe. Thanks very much for listening.
Goodbye.
Thank you.